Brian Amilioto. It's time for Word Around Town and our big discussion today. Very heated debate on social media. We are live on YouTube, spicefm.co.ke, as well as Facebook. Now, does a father who didn't raise his daughter still have a right over her dowry price? Now, let me give you the premise to the story. So, I know a couple, and this girl's mom got pregnant with a man from the same community, and he refused. He wasn't his child. He doesn't know what this person is talking about, and he's never raised the daughter has never had any interaction with the dad, has never sat down with the dad
ever.
She's been raised by her grandparents and her mom's, just her mother's community. The sisters, the brothers, she would stay with one sometimes. This one would pay school fees. The other one would do shopping. But it was a family affair for the mother's family. They raised her. Raised her, so she lacked for nothing. So she spoke to this man who is marrying her, and said, since they have to go now to her village to do the traditional wedding, and she told her husband to be, I would love my father to be present. Plus, he might get wind of it because we are not too far from each other. So it's good. He just comes and witnesses this. Like, I don't know if it was like a middle finger for look how I turned out. A successful lady. I'm even getting married. I think to me, it had some small little. She wanted to show up to her dad's family what was going on, not knowing that, sending word in advance that on such and such a date, this weekend, we are coming and you guys can come and witness our daughter being traditionally wed. Dude, they came, plus the village, plus boys, bulldoze into the compound. In fact, there was a scuffle because they want a seat at the table. The man has come with his brothers and they want to take dowry. Their daughter, their girl, cannot be married without their input, and they are the ones who are coming to do dowry negotiations. So before I made any conclusions, because mine would be hell the F no, I don't even know why you invited him in the first place, but I spoke to someone close to me, my mother, and my mother is of the opinion that your dad is your dad. Tuachie Mungu, leave him to God, blah, blah, blah. But your dad is your dad. Your dad.
But your mom is right.
That is a generational problem. And that's those are the issues I have with this continent, Africans. Is you let traditions, we don't have boundaries as people. You're just supposed to. Can you imagine the hardships the mother had to go through raising this girl? They are not a bitter family because they've invited him to come as an invited guest, because this girl wanted him to come as an invited guest. Kule mchele. Can eat rice.
Why was the guy absent? Was he absent because alinyimwa access?
He denied the pregnancy. And he comes from a community that don't deny their children. True. In fact, they still even children at night.
That one we do.
Yes. They still children at night. But this man denied the pregnancy and refused and would not have anything to do with it. The said community and uncles and the father's family, to me, would have even tried to mend fences earlier. They'd have come before the day of to come and try and find peace with the family of the girl before coming. Supercharged. But what do you think, Amilioto and Absolute?
I think the girl in question, it was out of courtesy that we're inviting you. Out of ile heshima, you're my dad, nini, just come. The way you're saying, if my village is here and the other person's village is there, it will be like, yeah, there's a wedding, nini. So what's worse? They storm in and they're like, yo, you didn't tell me? No. Number two, you see, you denied this child. Ulimkata kabisa. So you have no business. You didn't even, it's different if he came later on in life, like when she was still growing up and say,
so they've had another relationship.
Yeah, I've decided I want to mend fences with my daughter and everything. I want to take care of them. There you have a right. But you have been absent. As a parent, my dad told me, a man who is absent from their child's life completely, you have no right to claim benefits from that child.
And your dad is a wise man.
Not at all, because this child has grown up all this from age 0 to 30.
Kina mtu anasema mbegu yangu, lakini hii ni mbegu yangu.
Hiyo mbegu haungeideny. From the moment that you refused and said that's not my child and it's your child, you have no right to come at busting in. Your uncles, do they know this child, how this child grew up, what they were eating, what the school fees that was paid and everything that went, the emotional value that was invested there? No, they didn't. So you have no right to come and claim and say, okay, yeah, we have this, okay, African mzee wake ni mzee wake. Yeah, it's the dad. That's why you are invited and you're told that by them getting married, come and.
So
but even you
should have just come and chilled on that day.
Yes, as guests. Honor the invite and come. Because on the flip side, this is what I asked the couple. If the girl was a boy and they were invited to come and bring cows and goats to marry, would they have brought? They would not. But because there's something to gain from this girl, no.
Please don't. You're coming because, as Yolanda said, amekuja sile amesikia dowry.
Something to be gained.
Yeah, you've not come because you're celebrating. Yeah, my guys, come. My daughter is getting married. Let's go and enjoy. Let's go and celebrate her.
People make mistakes.
Yes.
If the dad wanted to come and to be felt the presence of our father, I think he should have reached out earlier before the day of the traditional wedding. Try to speak to the daughter. Even try to, because maybe there's a story that we don't know.
True.
Him and the mom had a tiff and say, your mother's relationship with me did not work out, but I loved you, even from a distance. Try and make it make sense.
Why you want something?
Make it, but you are coming to say 2 million. She's a degree holder. So you even know she went to university.
You've been
keeping tabs.
Yeah.
So you are all evil, you and your relatives.
But maybe he has been sending the mother some money. Your school fees maybe alikuwa natuma, but the mother does not say.
People are raised by grandparents, and then the day of the wedding day, the grandparents are discarded.
Kweli tu mtu lakini a grown up man can just wake up from his village and gather his family around and travel to pick dowry for a child they never
Let me ask you.
Let me tell you.
I think my theory is just this woman was accepting things, support from this guy silently without telling the daughter, because I just don't see how. And sometimes some women, I'm not saying all, but sometimes some women are very guilty of that. First of all, you said the child of the father's child ran away. Maybe he didn't, maybe mulikosana tu alafu ukasema utatuona tena. Later on he reached out because time had gone, but then he decided, you know what, mtoto tayari yako high school, let me just then support
this
whatever
man has never seen that girl since she was born.
But maybe that was part of the rule with the mom.
No. In the same village, you send your family to go and try to soften that family. I don't believe there's a single relative who will refuse to see a child. But let me tell you something. I know you want to say men can't just walk away from their children. It's not my place to give this story. My mother and her family were neglected and abandoned by their dad. My mom took care of her father till the day he died of cancer. But my mom said, that's my father. He made mistakes. He's a human being. And I told my mom, God gave you a heart that I don't have. Yeah, I wish I can be more like you.
But let's be honest, there's men with tabia mbaya.
Hence you see this girl told their husband to be, I want my dad.
Out of respect.
I want my dad. Can you imagine you're hearing there's a pregnancy you denied somewhere, this girl, but I also think this girl wanted in your face.
I think it could be both. Could be you left me, but look what,
or it could be without your input.
As in, regardless of the fact that you are never in my life, for me, I've always wanted that on my special day, at least my biological father is present. Maybe yeye akachafua tu rada na kukuja, instead of being present, he wanted more. But I suspect this man.
So the dowry they didn't even finish the negotiations. People started fighting. It was like drama for your mama.
Was the girl getting married to a rich family?
Yes, a very loaded family.
Do you think it would have been the same even if it wasn't a rich family?
Who likes poverty? Even cockroaches. I told you don't like houses with no food. This is because there was wealth that was smelled.
Hapana.
True story.
I think the mother of the child has been eating this man's money secretly without telling the baby.
I have asked you.
Now that the man...
If this family had sired a boy and the boy needed the dad's family to bring dowry, would they have come forward as aggressively and said, open this gate, we have brought 10 bulls and goats and sheep? I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Hapana. Me, I believe yes. But since it was not a boy, it's a girl, we now know that someone was chewing this man's money silently.
This all goes
under
back
the
to
water.
Stop exchanging children for animals and money. That's why we are fighting here. Anyway, when we come back, we'll read comments.
Then just give him one goat, at least. out of the 10
The only thing he
received.
can get is wagwan fist pump.
All your brothers will want goats.
Sindio, kila mtu tu basi tupeni mbuzi moja
And those
moja.
loudest uncles there who I'm like, first who are you?
Mtoto wetu
Wenyu na nani?
anafanana kwanza na senje yetu.
Hey, but Miros, we need conference to discuss.
Tulieta kuja. So unaona ndo huyu.
Now they even
Ndo
call
huyu
her
wewe.
name they have never given
Yeah.
her. Okay.
When we come back, we'll read your comments because the discussion and the fighting on the comment section